Greetings to everyone who happens to be watching this video. I am Juliana R.J. Laude from BESED English 3A, and welcome to our in-depth exploration of the dynamic intersection between literature and society. In this report, we embark on a journey through the pages of popular literature, where we uncover the profound impact of storytelling on our understanding of pressing social issues. Join us as I navigate the complexities of themes such as race, gender, mental health, and environmental conservation, and examine the challenges readers encounter in interpreting and engaging with these powerful narratives. Let's shed light on the social issues in popular literature. First one is the racial injustice. Racial injustice refers to unfair treatment or discrimination based on race or ethnicity. So, it is the way of downgrading other culture and other race we have in this world. And um, one example of racial injustice literature is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So, this story unfolds the fictional town of Macomb, Alabama during the 1930s. So, the novel follows Scout Finch. So, Scout Finch is a young girl and her brother, Jem. So, they navigate their childhood and come of age. So, their father, Atticus Finch, is a respected lawyer that defends Tom Robinson. So, Tom Robinson is the black man falsely accused of raping a white woman. So, the trial exposes the racial tensions and injustice prevalent in the segregated southern society of the time. So, through Scout's eyes, the novel explores themes of racial prejudice, morality, empathy, and the loss of innocence. Next is gender inequality. So, the gender inequality refers to the unequal treatment opportunities based on gender, often favoring men over women. So, of course, in the old times, malaki talaga ang tiwala or ang mataas talaga ang tingin ng mga tao sa lalaki over sa babae. And isa yon sa naging theme in popular literature. And one example of this is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So, this literature is a dystopian or refers to a type of society or fictional world characterized by extreme oppression, suffering, and injustice. So, the novel is set in a Republic of Gilead, a totalitarian society formed after the overthrow of the United States government. So the story follows Offred, a handmaid whose sole purpose is to bear children for the ruling class. As Offred navigates her oppressive reality, she forms relationships with other women and grapples with the memories of her past life and seek ways to resist the regime. So, throughout the novel, themes of gender oppression, autonomy, and the consequences of religious extremism are explored, providing a chilling commentary on power, control, and human spirit. Third, we have poverty and class divide. So, poverty refers to the lack of material resources or income to meet basic needs, while the class divide refers to the gap between the wealthy and the poor. Of course, we all know the meaning of poverty, and because it is one or the top tier problem around the world, not just here in the Philippines but around the world, because still there's a lot of country facing poverty. And on the other hand, we have the class divide. It is also still practiced in different side of the world, where there's a gap between the poor and the wealthy people, na nada-downgrade pa rin yung mga hihirap ng mayayaman. So one example of literature is the Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. So this novel is set during the Great Depression. So the Great Depression refers to the severe economic downturn that occurred worldwide during the 1930s. So the Great Depression happened after the uh, World War II, if I'm not mistaken. So starting in the United States, it was characterized by a prolonged period of economic hardships, widespread unemployment, poverty, and financial instability. The story follows the Juad family, a tenant farmers from Oklahoma who are forced to leave their land due to drought, economic hardship, and the Dust Bowl. Seeking for a better life, they embark on a journey to California. So they migrate to California, the wishing that fate will be good to them, where they hope that they can find work and opportunities that help that can help them to survive their life. So along the way, they face numerous challenges including poverty, exploitation, discrimination, and the harsh realities of migrant labor. So through the struggles of the Joad family, the novel explores themes of social injustice, resilience, and the human spirit amidst adversity. The fourth one is mental health awareness. So mental health awareness refers to recognizing, understanding, and acknowledging the importance of mental well-being, reducing stigma, and promoting access to support resources for mental health conditions. Especially in today's world, it's very evident that there's a lot of cases or situation where a lot of people face mental health, unstable mental health. So I think it is important to have the awareness about mental health, na hindi siya basta masabi mo lang na nararamdaman na ay ganito ako, na nade-depress ako, na anxiety ako, something like that. It is something to be take seriously, na akala natin ay yung iba nag-i-inerte lang, but we should acknowledge it, and we should be aware on how to prevent and how to overcome mental health problems. So one example of literature of this is All the Bright Places. So it is also has a movie. So I already watched it. So this All the Bright Places is written by Jennifer Niven. So it is a young adult novel that follows the story of Violet Markey and Theodore Finch. So the two teenagers meet on the ledge of their school's bell tower. So they were both struggling with their own inner demons. So they form an unlikely bond as they embark on a journey of self-discovery and healing. So throughout the novel, Violet and Finch confront issues such as mental illness, grief, loss, and search for meaning and connection in their lives. So the story ultimately explores themes of love, friendships, and the importance of reaching out for help in times of struggle. So second to the last, we have environmental deg- degradation. Degradation. Environmental degradation refers to the deterioration of the environment through pollution, deforestation, and other harmful activities practiced by humans. Of course, we all know those illegal activities that people still practice until now. Na kung saan sira-sira na ang ating kalikasan but still ginagawa pa rin nila. And they don't take the consequences seriously. So one thing or one example of this is the Lorax. So the Lorax is a children's book that conveys a powerful environmental message about the consequences of deforestation. So it is written by Dr. Seuss, and it tells the story of the Onceler, a greedy industrialist who destroys the environment by cutting down all the trifula trees to manufacture uh, thin needs, a useless product. So, as a result, the vibrant ecosystem and the creatures that depend on it, including the Lorax, suffer greatly. So the Lorax speaks for the trees and warns against the consequences of environmental degradation. But his pleas are ignored until it is too late. In the end, the Onceler realizes the error of his ways and entrusts a young boy with the last Trufula seed, symbolizing hope for the restoration of nature. Last one, we have the immigration. So immigration refers to the movement of people from one country to another, often in search for better opportunities. So just like here in the Philippines, of course, we all know that hindi naman talaga ganoon kataas ang sweldo. For example, the nurses who migrate in the other side of the world, in other countries. Kasi nga doon, they can offer a higher salary. Na kung saan, syempre, ang iniin natin is to have, um, to pay the, more than a minimum, di ba? Syempre, kailangan kumita ng pera, especially nowadays, kung saan mahal na ang bilihin, and syempre, hindi naman ganun kaya bilis kitain ang pera. Unlike ngayon, dito nga sa atin, mababa ang ang rate or ang salary na natatanggap ng nurses. Okay, that's why they migrate to the other countries to have a higher salary that can help them to support their families' needs and also their wants. So one example of literature of this theme is Americana. So it is written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So it explores themes of immigration, identity, and race through the experiences of a Nigerian woman living in the United States and the challenges she faces as an immigrant. So It follows the story of Efemelu. So, she is a young Nigerian woman who moves to United States to pursue higher education. So, while in America, Efemelu grapples with issues of race, identity, and belonging, experiencing both personal and cultural challenges as she navigates her way through life. So, the novel also explores Efemelu's relationship with her high school sweetheart of Vincent and their experiences living apart in different countries. So, through Efemelu's perspective, Americana provides insight into the complexities of immigration, racial dynamics, and the pursuit of American dream. Now, let's proceed to the challenges in popular literature. The first one is the postmodernism. So, postmodernism's emphasis on the construction and skepticism towards traditional narratives can make it difficult for readers to engage with the and interpret texts, especially those that challenge conventional storytelling. Postmodernism is a philosophical and cultural movement that emerged in the mid 20th century. So it challenged the idea of objective truth and questions the stability of established narratives and structures, including those found in literature. So modern literature often features fragmented narratives, nonlinear storytelling, and the metafictional elements that blur the distinction between reality and fiction. Next is the mass media. The proliferation of mass media and the sheer volume of books available can overwhelm readers, making it challenging to navigate through the vast array of choices and find works that resonate with them personally. So, mass media refers to the forms of communication that reach large audience. So, such as televisions, radio, newspapers, and the internet. So, with the proliferation of mass media channels and platforms, individuals are bombarded with the vast amounts of information on a daily basis, which can be overwhelming and make it difficult to discern credible sources from misinformation. The third one is the rise of other academic subjects. As academic fields diversify and new disciplines emerge, the focus of literature may diminish, leading to a decreased emphasis on literary analysis and interpretation in educational settings. So, this shift can lead to diminished resources and attention allocated to literary studies, impacting the depth of analysis and engagement with literary text. The fourth one is no automatic connection to a job after college. So in competitive job market, there may be pressure for students to pursue degrees that have more direct career paths. So potentially leading to a decline in interest and investment in literature and the humanities. So the perception that studying literature does not lead to a clear job. So job or financial stability can discourage individuals from pursuing literary studies despite their interest in the subject. Next is inaccessibility. So some literary works, particularly those written in older or more specialized language, may be inaccessible to readers who are not familiar with the historical or cultural context in which they were produced, posing barriers to understand in appreciation. So, Without the necessary background, knowledge, or resources to understand these works, readers may struggle to fully engage with and appreciate them. Because of some literary works may be inaccessible to readers due to the factors such as complex language, cultural references, or historical context. Next is overly academic language. The use of overly academic or jargon-filled language in literary criticism and analysis can alienate readers who are not part of academic circles, making it challenging for them to engage with scholarly discourse on literature. So, academic discourse surrounding literature often employs specialized language and terminology that can be challenging for non-academic readers to understand. The use of overly complex or jargon-filled language can alienate readers outside of the academic circles, hindering their ability to engage with scholarly discussions and analysis of literature. The last one is that of aesthetics. In an era dominated by commercialisms and mass production, there may be a decline in appreciation for the aesthetic qualities of literature, such as language, style, and artistic expression, in favor of more commercial considerations. So, in a society driven by commercialism and consumerism, there may be a tendency to prioritize marketability and profitability over artistic value and aesthetic. So this can result in a decline in the recognition and celebration of literature as a form of artistic expressions, focusing instead on its commercial viability or utilitarian value. So that's the end of my report. I hope you learned something. Thank you.